Hello and welcome back to Miss Henderson's Life Skills class. I am Miss Henderson and I thank you for joining me today. Today's life skill topic is, who is your advisor? Now, I'm not talking about your counselor or your advisor at school. I'm talking about whose advice are you taking um, outside of school. You know, a lot of times we have situations or concerns and we go to a confidant or a friend and ask them what is their advice about something. Some advice is solicited, meaning you ask for it, and then we do have unsolicited advice where people would just chime in and tell you what you should do with your life. That's one of the reasons I first and foremost advise that you know your purpose and know your plan for your life. And one of the best ways for me is to pray about it and ask God what would He have you do and be in your life. But that's for the Christian and the believer. The worldly person, you'll determine what it is you want to be in your life, and then you have a responsibility to find out what it takes to become that. And everybody doesn't have the same respect or interest in the same things that you might have. So where you say you may want to do a particular thing or be a particular profession or what have you, the person that you're speaking with or seeking advice from really doesn't have much of an interest, and they have never delved into uh, how that particular career works, never thought about it. And so their advice is coming from a place, a negative place, pretty much. They're not interested and can talk you out of what you're supposed to be doing. Case in point, many, many years ago, when I was in high school, I considered being an English major and a music major, and I wanted to be a teacher. I knew that I was a natural born teacher. I was been teaching since I was 5 or 6 years old. I would always come home and reteach my lessons from school to my dolls and stuffed animals. I taught, or as I grew older, I would gather the children in the neighborhood during the summers and teach them and make lunches for them, and we'd go on field trips, walking field trips to the park. So I've always been a natural born teacher. But when I got ready to go into that, I let several people talk me out of majoring in that initially, because they made it seem just like it was nothing. It might not have been anything to them, but it turns out it was what I was born to do. It was my particular purpose. So don't make the same mistake that I did. I mean, I finally got back on track because I did know that's what I was supposed to do, but I wavered. And so you don't have to waver when you know what it is you are supposed to be doing. So the first thing is to know in your heart, what are you good at? What comes natural to you? The next thing is, find people who are doing what you want to do, who are successfully doing what you want to do, and ask them to mentor you. A good mentor is a valuable asset for you. I was speaking with someone today, and high school senior, and he indicated to me that he is going to take a break after high school and live his life before he thinks about what he's going to do next. He said that's what someone had told him he should do. So without my knowing who that someone who told him to do that, I asked him, how is that advice working for them? What are they doing now? And he kind of grinned and smiled. I said, you can't take advice from someone who is not thriving from their own advice. You know, and sometimes you get that syndrome with, what I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's crabs in a barrel, where, they keep pulling each other down, because as soon as the other one gets to the top and gets ready to get out of the barrel, the other ones at the bottom, they pull them back down in there. They want to keep you down with them. That can be friends, that can be family, that can be close family. Don't let that stop you from reaching your full potential and doing what it is you're supposed to do. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to come to you handed on a silver platter. Even something as natural to you as breathing, something you do very well and have been doing for a long time, you still need training, education, and credentialing. And credentialing is your degree or a certificate that says you are qualified to do this. That is what opens many, many, many doors for you. It is time for families to break the cycle of poverty in their families. Generation after generation after generation, just a waste of skin. And I'm not being funny. Um, this generation of the family sat around all day. And then the next generation, they just sit around all day. And we have to stop that. That doesn't work. And if you want to live a life, you want to thrive and live rather than just survive and grumble and groan and always looking, waiting for the mailman, you're going to have to work for it. And that's just real talk. It's no judgment or anything like that. But we can't sit up and watch television all day or all evening and watch reality shows where we're watching other people live and we're just wasting away. Let's stop doing that. Let's get to work. Let's do our own thing. And it begins one avenue, and one very successful avenue is through post-secondary education, college, universities, trade schools. There are so many things available, so many opportunities available when you attend college. College is not like high school and traditional K through 12 that you've been going through. It's a lot different. You still have a lot of your freedom. You make your own schedule, and you still are able to have fun. My advice is always to go out of state and to live on campus. And even if you don't go out of state, live on campus. The commuting back and forth almost makes it seem like high school, but when you live on campus, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You gain your independence that you want so desperately, and you still are working toward an education and earning your college degree. College is a lot of fun, and you gain so much more from college than just an education. An education is just one thing. You meet many people from all over the world, because people from all over the world go to different universities and college and institutions of higher learning. And so there you meet people from all over, if not all over the world, definitely all over the country. And so there you are building networks for your future. There are many organizations that you become a part of, and there are many opportunities to go places that you would not ordinarily have an opportunity to go to if you were not in school. We traveled to Africa. We did a trip to Senegal. I've done trips to the British Isles, trips all over in various countries as a result of being a part of an organization or something bigger than I am. And I honestly would not have had those opportunities had I not been involved in those institutions of higher learning. Spending my summers in Montreal, Upper Michigan, I had a wonderful, wonderful, I say youth. I've traveled and pursued music and education, early childhood education, so many different things. And I got to explore and study psychology, philosophy, religions of the world. I mean, it helps make you a well-rounded person, and you can pretty much join any conversation, if not but for a little bit of time. Okay, jack of all trades, master of none. But just be mindful of who you are taking your advice from. You wouldn't go to your high school peer for certain types of advice because they don't know any more than you do. They're seeking and learning and trying to find their way. There's this old saying, the blind leading the blind. And again, they have well intentions, but they can still be incorrect and wrong and lead you down the wrong path. And the thing about it is, when it's all said and done and comes down to it, you cannot hold anyone accountable but yourself. So you hear different advice from people, but then it's up to you to make a decision and ask yourself, why are you making that choice? And then you have to live with the consequences of that decision. Someone egging you on to do something, again, when it comes to fruition, when it comes time to pay the piper, you're the one who has to ante up. And they've disappeared all of a sudden. They're not there. So just be mindful of that. Let's see what else do I have on my list here. I want you to enjoy your childhood. I think this is the last thing that I have to say for this video. Enjoy your childhood. And I know when you turn 17, 18, you don't consider yourself a child. But there are certain things that are only appropriate for this window of time that you have. Do not neglect yourself. Do not sacrifice those beautiful things in an effort to pursue money. And what I mean by that, a lot of my students are getting jobs, and I have nothing against students having jobs, but the jobs should be part-time and not full-time. If you're in school all day from 8:30 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you work in a job from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night, what time does that give you to be a teenager? Part-time jobs are fine. And those hours this person is working Monday through Friday. So, I mean, it's just too much. Now, I understand there are circumstances in the family where someone has to help out. I understand that wholeheartedly. But at the same time, don't give up your childhood, your very valuable time in your life for a job right now. Right now, your job is to study, to attend school, to study, to graduate, and then move on to college. And again, sometimes you need to get out of your current environment, and college is that ticket out of that current environment, your surroundings. The home, the neighborhood, the community, the city, the state. You need to get away and start fresh and start your life fresh on new soil, new surroundings. That is a gift to yourself. You owe it to yourself to do that. At least a year. But my advice is never take off a year between high school and college, because most people very rarely go back. They very rarely. So now you're a high school student and you're already accustomed to going to class and doing homework and studying. You're already in that zone. Stay in that zone and go ahead and start your first semester of college as an on-campus student, as a resident student, not a commuter. Commuting is fine, but living on campus is much better. And like I say, you get your independence and your education at the same time. And you meet so many people. And there are so many organizations that that will interest you. There's some organization for just about every interest there is, and I'm sure there's something for you as well. So I pretty much, that's all I have for now. There was one other point, but I don't remember it now. I'm looking through my notes here. Okay. So I don't see it here, but earn your degree and then take your break. If you need to take a break, take it after you earn your degree and use that time to roam the earth, to party hard, to go different places and travel and all those wonderful things before you settle into your career. Before you settle into your career, and then you've gotten a chance to live your life. When you're talking about living your life after high school, what do you have to live your life on? You no money, no job, so what you living on? Get out and see the world, first of all, by going and living on campus in college. And there are travel opportunities and so much going on through college that the expense is minimal, and there's work study. There's so many things available as a college student that are not available to non-college students, and there are so many things available as a younger person that are not available to older persons. So take advantage of those opportunities, because that window is very short, and you'll look back when you turn 30, and it would be a regret that you missed homecomings, and you missed high school dances, and you missed prom, and you even missed graduation, and you weren't a part of social things as a teenager because you were busy at a job. Don't cheat yourself out of that, and I encourage parents, don't cheat your children out of that. Don't let them have their childhood. Don't rush them to grow up. Okay? So that's all I have for now. This is Miss Henderson from Miss Henderson's Life Skills class. I thank you for joining me. I ask that you please press the like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll know when I'm uploading a new video. Yes, you can share my channel with others, and I would really appreciate you replying and let me know what you think in the comments section. Let me know, say hey, okay? Thank you so much. Bye for now. Have a great, great day. And until we meet again, may love bring you to your feet again and show you how to dream again. In Jesus' name, amen.